Hello everyone, just Goran here and welcome back to another Planet Zoo real life inspiration video for the Oceania Pack. Today we're looking at the Kiwi and we're jumping right into it because we basically only have one zoo to look at, and over here we're looking at Avifauna. This is their current main Kiwi enclosure, just a little aviary with a glass viewing point, and yeah, this is for the Kiwi. We can't see them because they are a nocturnal animal and this is a daylight exhibit, but these two brown little nest boxes, this glass stuff, it doesn't show it very well. Let's just go inside, why don't we? So here we are inside of the Kiwi enclosure. It's nothing too fancy for such a beautiful, the kookaburra are gonna, yeah, as you can see, this is a shared enclosure with the kookaburra, as you can see and hear. So yeah, those are the kookaburra in there. But yeah, we got two of these little nest boxes because the Kiwi is a nocturnal animal. They want to retreat themselves during the day, so they will be found in either one of these nest boxes. Something else that's cool to point out is there is this divide in the middle of the habitat, and they used to put the female on one side and the male on the other side, and outside of breeding season they would close the divider, but that actually didn't work. The female would still like continuously want to lay eggs because she can hear or see or smell the male, which is not healthy. She should only do that every so often and not constantly. And there we go, we have the Kiwi. There she is. This is Wingy, and she is beautiful. She is so cool, and I think you can, even through the GoPro stabilization, you can see that I was shaking getting to see this. This is, so cool. But yeah, so we can see how the nest box is built up, those little dividers in there, keeping out the light so that she can go all the way in there and being nice in the dark. And yeah, that is it. So, as I was saying, couldn't put both the animals in there, so that's why the male is backstage. So over here, this is another really cool thing, and this zoo actually earlier this year had a Kiwi born. So right now we're looking at footage in the top right of the Kiwi's birth and like them being weighed and stuff like that, and the main screen over there was actually live footage from the Kiwi, which is in this enclosure over here. So we got this wooden box that's there, enclosure, just temporary, of course, and then there's the smaller box, that's their nest box, that's what they're sitting inside of, nice and in the dark. And you can even see the camera sticking in there, giving the viewers something to look at. But they do have a weighing moment every day, and they have to keep track of the health of the Kiwi, and the only way to do that properly is by weighing them. So they decided to do that publicly, just so that people actually have the chance to see this animal. So here you can see it. It gets put in this little box, which is on a scale, and then we can see the Kiwi. Baby Kiwi! And they keep it as short as possible because this is a very stressful thing for the animal. So the moment it starts to like try to escape and stuff, they will put it back in their enclosure, and that's it. So yeah, that is what's currently at the zoo. We are going to have a look at another thing. This was last year, because the zoo used to have a little night safari, which you can see over here. Very sophisticated. This was a little nocturnal section of the zoo where you can spot a variety of Oceania birds, as well as one South American owl for some reason. But yeah, this was a really cool place. Maybe it's just because it was so dark and you couldn't really see much. I thought it was super cool, but it's currently closed because it was, as the keeper said, in heavy need of maintenance, and there currently wasn't any money to do so. So yeah, at the moment it's closed, but here you can see kind of what that was like. The Kiwis weren't free roaming, it was just the owl and the thickney that you could find in here. So here we can see both of those, but there was a Kiwi enclosure in the back as well, a nocturnal one, so there you would have been able to spot the Kiwi if you were lucky, being a bit more active. I never saw it when I was here, but yeah, here you can see that enclosure. So it looks a little bit more detailed, a little bit more fancy than the other enclosure, which in my opinion is in need of a bit of an upgrade, especially for such an iconic animal like this. But yeah, of course the darkness hides a lot of the imperfections probably. So yeah, nothing much to see here. It is nocturnal after all, so you're gonna have to use a little bit of imagination. But yeah, let's get out of that darkness and look at something pretty inspiring. And there's some cool educational signs over here about the kiwi. So you have these kiwis that you can open up and read some little facts about the kiwis. So about the origin of their name, what came first, the fruit of the bird, and then this little thing where you can open up the kiwi and see the egg inside, which is just really cool way to show that, because it's crazy how big that thing is. So that's for kiwi exhibits I've seen. I mean, there's really only one, but I did get some things sent in to me by other people. This over here is the kiwi enclosure of the Bronx Zoo, which was sent to me by Leaf, and yeah, we can see it's a pretty nice enclosure. It got a lot of space. There seems to be a little stream. There's some really cool murals. And then over here we can actually see the kiwi walking around, which is super cool. Thank you so much for sending us in, Leaf. This is really awesome seeing an active kiwi, pretty much. Not one that's forced out of their home. And here next up we have the kiwi enclosure of the Zoo of Berlin. Not Tierpark Berlin, but the other one. And we can once again see an active kiwi kind of walking around. It's a bit blurry, but yeah, this footage was sent in by Mr. Gecko. So Mr. Gecko, thank you so much for sending us some more kiwi footage to look at. And we can see this one is very actively walking about as well. Really cool. So as we'll end off this video, we're gonna just pop up a picture of this enclosure that he sent along with it, because yeah, this video is mostly focusing on the kiwi itself, and that is where we're gonna end off this video. So I hope you got some kiwi inspiration out of this. Of course, there isn't a lot out there. I will share in the description a link to a husbandry manual for the kiwi, which I always think is interesting to read. It has some interesting information like how to build up a nest box, size recommendations, and also things like the fact that you should give the kiwi the opportunity to be at least 2.5 meters away from the guest public. I thought it was pretty insightful. So yeah, stuff like that you can read in there. I'll be sure to link it in the description. So have fun building kiwi habitats, and see you around.